I've been on about 10 weeks. The first I heard of it was about June, the middle of June, June 13th or so. My friend and on the team, Patricia Connolly, had just been on a little bit, and she was in my prayer team at our church, and they had been praying for me because I had really, really severe back pains, and I'd already had one surgery on one side for in two places. They released the sciatic nerve and so on, and I had my leg and my foot was numb and so on, like months ago, and last year. And then it had started on my right side, and I'd gotten to the point where I was in so much pain I was climbing the stairs on my hands and knees, or pulling myself up by the rail, and my husband Rod was walking behind me, like making sure I could get up the stairs. And so anyway, she said, Ann, I sent you something in the mail, and you should be getting it that Saturday, I think the 13th. I got her card with 3 patches in it, and she said, you just wear it 12 hours and then 12 hours off, and just see what happens. And so I waited for Sunday because it was too late to wear it 12 hours before I went to bed. So I wore it on Sunday, and on a scale from 1 to 10, I was at about, by the end of the day, I was at about a 5 or 6, and I thought, oh, I can do this. This is wonderful. And even though I was still in pain, it was great. And so on the next day, on Monday, I put it on again, and on a scale to 1 to 10, I was down to about a 2 by the end of the day. And I did not know anything about it except that it was a stem cell patch. I had no idea what, and I just wore it right here on the back of my neck. And at the end of the day, that night, I took it off, and I slept 8 hours that night. I have not slept 8 hours straight in 15 or 20 years.
Wow.
And because of my hips and my back and everything else. And so I woke up, that made me feel better, just that alone. But then the next day I put the patch back on, and I had no pain. And I went the whole day without any pain. And that night I also slept 8 hours again. And Rod said to me, I don't care what it costs. Find out. You are getting this patch. And so he got on with, and he signed me up he said, this is amazing. You're going on as a distributor. So like about on the 19th, we ordered our sleeve of 3-month supply, came on as a preferred customer. And
you came in as a gold distributor.
Came on in as a gold distributor then?
Immediately.
Yeah. Okay. So he said, what if it does this for everybody, then we're in. So and I will have to tell you this, that next day after I ran out of the 3 patches, and Patricia brought me some that evening, but before that I had an appointment with my neurosurgeon because of all the pain, and they had already had that appointment. So I went in, and I'm sitting there, and he comes in, and he says, so how are you? And I said, I'm fine. And he said, why are you fine? I thought you said, and I said, I don't know what it is. It's a miracle. I used these 3 patches for 3 days, and I would show you, but I'm out, and it's amazing. It has something to do with stem cells, and I feel great. And he was like, Okay, well, we're always interested in new technology. Can you imagine what it would be if we didn't have to do Percocet and Darvocet and all of these narcotics for people, you know? And I said, yeah. He said, so find out and let me know. And I was like, great, okay. In the meantime, he had already set up an appointment for me to have an MRI and an X-rays, flex X-rays of the back, lower back. So I found out later that that disc is like this, sitting on top of the other disc, and has pinching the sciatic nerve and all those other nerves, and it's like laying like this, which is why he said, no wonder you were in such pain. But since you're not now, this was like a couple of weeks later, like about a month later when I talked to him on the phone. He said, if you're not in pain right now, then you can decide when you want to have the surgery and so on, and just go as long as you can unless your feet go numb, and then I need to know right away. And I'm like, okay. So I've been on it ever since, and I've been really good. And about a week after I used those, I used the patch for a week, and then I do this Zoom call, prayer meeting Zoom call. And so I'm on the call, and I'm like, I ran upstairs real quick to get on because I lead it. And so, you know, let everybody in. And then I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot my Bible. So I ran down and I ran back up, and I had my Bible, and oh no, I forgot my phone. So I ran down the stairs and I ran back up again with my phone. And in the middle of the stairs, I look over, and my husband is standing in the kitchen with his mouth open with this big grin. And I said, what? And he said, do you realize you just ran up the stairs 3 times? And I'm like, woo! So
that
yeah.
is fantastic. So, and just so everybody knows, you were going to see your surgeon for another back operation, correct?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for another back operation. And you could barely, if I have this correct, you could barely get up the stairs. In fact, you had to at times
Climb on my hands and knees.
on your hands and knees. Yes. So, and God, that is just fantastic, a fantastic story. And I know that you and Rod are primarily interested in just helping others, correct? Helping others with
Yeah.
their
Yeah, yeah. That's how I actually became a distributor. Just people were asking me, how are you? And I'm like, I'm great. Why are you great? We've been praying for your back, you know, and everybody, I'm in a 55 plus community, so everybody, you know, has L's and ailments and so on. And they were like, why? What'd you do? And I told them about it. Well, I want some, you know. I really haven't gone out and beat the pavement or anything. They've kind of come and asked me about it, and I tell them and then get them on. And so now I am a distributor.